Hi everyone and welcome back to Diamond Paintings with me, your host Mike. We are going to be doing some of this lovely rest of the painting here today, and yeah, I haven't actually worked on this for like 2 days, and I've got a new fish pen. I've been using this. I totally forgot about this pen until the other day I found it, and it was in my carry case that is kitted up with Alice in Wonderland and Pirates of the Caribbean, and I thought, oh, I'll use that because I get like so many of these pink ones, and oh, do you know what? It's lovely to work with. You actually feel like you're gripping a pen. So yeah, it's been a busy few days. Just trying to find the bearing here. 7, yeah, okay. So it's been a busy few days. Friday night I went over to Whittam because I had to go and get my package, and it was the package that I was waiting for, which was the Build the Cosmo Mazda, or the Mazda Cosmo, however you want to pronounce it. And yeah, I was really impressed. It was like, I was only expecting like 2 parts, but they actually sent about, I think there was like 4 packs in there, but the quality is unbelievable. Some of the die-cast pieces, like the front of the chassis, it's really heavy, and it's going to be, I can already tell by looking at issue 1, it's going to be a lovely build. And I was a little bit confused because I was thinking, online it looked silver, but when I got it, it was like a cream colour. And then I looked at it again, and it is actual cream. It's like an optic illusion. So I filmed that, and then I had to do a bit of I wanted to get a bit of the butterfly done, and then I've been working on some of my off-camera painting. So I've been doing one of my off-camera projects, which I've got about 2 of them. I don't really do an awful lot of... Oh, that's the Dennis bus gone by, I think. Yeah, it's the double-decker that's just coming from Colchester. That will go to... I think it goes from Colchester to Braintree, but then from Braintree back to Colchester. But there is one that comes in from Chelmsford. So I don't know whether it goes from Colchester, Braintree, then Chelmsford. But yeah, it is one of the double-decker buses. So yeah, so where was I? So yeah, I've done some of my off-camera project that I wanted to do. And I basically was doing that for a couple of days because I thought, well, because I've had a lot of problems at the moment with my Alpine delivery, and I thought, right, I'm going to stay over the night then. I'll stay over the weekend because this parcel force driver, I used to work with him, and he works with parcel force, and I used to do like loading parcels into the vans in the warehouse. And this guy, he's got this, sorry, I'm just trying to, yeah, that's that one. He's basically keeps coming and saying that there's no one in when there is. And when I check the CCTV, because obviously my relatives have CCTV, and yeah, when I checked it, he basically knocks on the door and leaves a slip when there's someone in. So I thought, right, I'm not having this. So this was supposed to be delivered on the 4th of October. So yeah, this was supposed to be done on the 4th of October, and it just kept going back out, back in, back out, back in. And then one time he took it to the post office, which I couldn't understand why, and he took it to the furthest one away. And I said, sorry, I don't deal with post offices. If I want to post something, I either book a collection in or I put it in the letterbox. So he took it to the furthest one away when we have Spa Road, which is like literally 10 minutes away. So I got in touch with Parcel Force. They said it takes 3 days to uplift the package and to take it back to the depot. So I thought the only way I'm going to get this is if I stay over the night, because otherwise if I go in the morning on Monday, you know, I had to take fact that I had to take on board in case there was any like delays, if there's any train delays. I don't want that, that's the last thing I want. So I thought, well, I'll stay over the weekend, and then he's got no excuse not to deliver it. And I actually opened the kitchen window to prove that someone, you know, was in. So eventually I got it after a week's delay, and it came in a lovely package. It was orange, bright orange, and obviously because it comes in from France, the magazine is in French, but obviously when I film it I will go through just via the pictures. And I saw it on one of my friends' channels, which is Worldway, and I was watching it because obviously I've been a long-term support for him, and I was watching it and I'm thinking, what is it about this car that I love? And for me, obviously my favourite colour is blue, so I was drawn to the blue. And then another reason why I wanted it is because Fan Home gives you red screwdrivers, Agora gives you silver, and another reason why I wanted it is because I wanted that blue screwdriver. So, but also I just think it's a beautiful car. It's obviously some sort of race car because it's got lots of decals on it. So if you want to see that, it's Scale Models with Mike, but it's not actually currently filming at the moment. We're going to do that in November because I won't be over there again, because the builds that are on that channel, they're all stored at my relatives because I just don't have the space. So it will be when it will be, because I only tend to go to Whitman now on the weekends because I work on the weekends. And yes, I've done that. By the way, I had a voicemail the other day, and he said, because I said about this money that they've offered, I said, what is the timescale? Are they going to pay it within 7 days? Have I got to wait half a year? You know, when? And he said, it was basically ACAS, and they said they're going to get in touch with the respondent, and they're going to find out timings, and then when they get back to them, that's when he'll get back to me. And he said there's no need to call, I'll just call you back. So yeah, which is good. So yeah, so then what did I do after that? So after that, obviously my mum went to work, and it was time for me to sort of really pack up. So I was packing up all my diamond painting that I work on. Normally at the weekends I'll get out my off-camera project one, and I'll start doing that for a bit. But there's a lot to set up because I've got to get all the storage rack out, I've got to get all the painting out, all the drills out, all the cables, because with the way I power my light board is because the plug won't reach to the wall. I put my laptop in, and then I put obviously the charger into the wall, but then I use a cable. It's got like a little block on it, and you can put 4 USB things in there, and that connects into the USB slot of my laptop, and then I can extend cables into it, and then I put the light ball cable into that. So that's pretty good. And then about 5ish, I thought, well, I'll grab a quick shower, save, you know, going home and then having to get on with things. So I grabbed that, and then I done dinner there because I thought, well, if I eat dinner here, I can cut, you know, doing dinner, because I knew it would be late by the time I get back, and I don't really fancy cooking at 10 o'clock at night. So then I got on then I went to get the train, and I wanted to get the 10 to 8 one, which is 1948, and they said the train come in from Braintree, and they said, sorry, this train has been cancelled. And it's every single time I travel, there's always something. There's always something with this Great Rebellio, and it seems to be every single time I travel. So they said, sorry, this train. So I got on that because it didn't say where it was going. So I just thought, well, I hope this is the right one, because normally they say this train is going to so and so. And yeah, this train was just sitting there. Then there was a driver announcement that said this train has got a problem with it. This train is going to be, the Braintree one's going to be cancelled. But what really annoyed me is we all got off, and then he took the train off onto a side track, which normally goes up back to the depot if it's got a problem. And then I thought, right, okay, I'll wait for the next one, which is, you know, only half an hour away, which was 2037, or maybe a bit longer. But I thought, well, this is going to be cleared in a minute. They'll either get an engine to pull it out, or they'll try and get it fixed to, you know, get it off the track. And yeah, it was rather interesting, because then they said that the London train was coming in, which was the 2016. And I thought, well, where's this come from then? Because you've just brought the train in from Braintree. That's pulled into platform 4, which normally goes back to London. They pulled this one off the track, so I thought, well, where's this one come from then? So whether that train got fixed, whether the driver found the fault and then he took it back into Braintree, I don't know. But if he did, then I think that's very annoying, because they didn't make any announcement to say that this train is now going back to Braintree. So I think that was, and I heard someone laughing. So if it's who I think it is, then I think that's a bit naughty. Because this guy, I don't like him. He's basically works for the train station, but he basically he when you look over to the train, he'll look the other way. It's almost like he don't like you, sort of thing. So, but yeah, I'm not, you know, there to be friends with people. I just don't understand why he does that. So yeah, so then I eventually got on the 8:30 train, and didn't get in until gone 9 o'clock. So yeah, obviously by the time I got in, I missed EastEnders, so I made myself a cup of tea and, you know, watched EastEnders. Then it was time for the news, and apparently Liz Truss has had to apologise because she's got all this wrong, and the Chancellor has reversed things. So where we was going to get a cap on energy bills until I think it was like 2 years down the line, they've now changed it to it's going to end in April. I think what's happened is they've tried to borrow too much and they've got to tighten the belt a bit. I think that's probably what's happened in this case. So yeah, everything's a bit up in the air at the moment. So obviously, and the problem is with Liz Truss is when Chris Mason, which was I think he's the chief political editor, he took over from Laura Kuenssberg. He was doing an interview with her, and she just didn't seem to know the answers. I don't know why everything's just like hush hush, and you sort of saw her, like she wants to say something, but she has to sort of reword it. So I can't see her lasting very long. I mean, a lot of my friends have said she'll be out by Monday. Some of my friends are saying she'll be out by Christmas. So it's a lot of, you know, things going on. I don't think the press helps either. So I was watching that, and then it was time to really. It got about to 11 o'clock, and normally I'll watch Look East after that, and then obviously if there's nothing else, then I'll go to bed. And so I got me a cup of tea, and I started to watch Wild at Heart, because I always watch Wild at Heart. I'm into that at the moment on my DVDs. I think that stands for digital video device or something like that. Looking for the F, there we go. So yeah, I watched that, and it was quite a horrific episode. I'm on series 2, and I think it was episode 9. But Hobie goes into attack mode, so he's come over to du Plessis, who's played by Dion Stewardson, and he's attacking du Plessis, and it turns out that du Plessis has a condition called angina, which is where the narrowing of the arteries to the heart are blocked by fatty substances like cholesterol and stuff. And then he started to attack Danny, played by Stephen Tompkinson. So obviously Danny's gone under the Jeep to try and get away from Hobie, and yeah, he's starting to attack that. And then obviously they come round, and then obviously Dion's in hospital, and Danny then has to, you know, he wants to get back to work with the animals, and there's this elephant that he has to, you know, I think there's like a wire around her foot where she's got caught in a snare. A snare is a device where if it's like a cage thing, and if an animal walks over it, it will snap like that and cut into their skin. and it's basically like a trap. And you'll know if an animal's been there because there'll be fur around it. But so this elephant obviously had a problem with its legs, so obviously Danny's gone over there to treat it, and he can't treat it because he's getting fears and flashbacks of Hobie coming towards him. He thinks that the elephant is the lion. So yeah, but there is another horrific episode to come soon where I think Caroline is mauled by a lion. That is really horrific, and that's quite a horrific episode, that one. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm trying to last it because I know that I'm almost at the end, you know, because I've got the third series where Danny meets his new wife because his existing wife gets burnt in a fire and dies in a fire. And then obviously you've got the 8th series, which is really upsetting because Anders Duplessis goes on top of this rock, and that's the last time you see him. He dies. But yeah, so I'm into watching that at the moment. I'm thinking of bringing back Cinema Paradiso. Now, Cinema Paradiso is a company that is like Love Film, and they send you DVDs in the post. You create a list of the ones you want to watch, and you can move the priorities. So say like you had Mamma Mia at the bottom, and then you had School of Rock at the top. If you wanted to watch Mamma Mia, you could move that to the top. And I'm thinking of bringing back that because the problem I've got with the bedroom is I don't have a Skybox anymore. I used to have this little machine. It's called a Sky Hub box or something. It's basically like a miniature version of Sky, but you don't need an aerial. It links in, it like it talks to the other box, and I got rid of it because they were basically saying that I had to pay. The first box was £50, but they done me a discount and gave me it for free. And then because I fell in debt with them, because Sky are very good at giving you all these stupid packages, and then they rank them all up after so many long. So trying to cancel something with Sky is like it's like being in the war. So I thought, right, I'll send that back because you're not getting 50 quid. So I'll send that back, and obviously I can't watch TV in there because I don't have an aerial. I could feed an aerial in there and watch normal TV, but what sort of TV comes on at midnight? It's normally like BBC News, because BBC News runs like all through the year. All through the night until 6 o'clock. But I think that's like highlights. So I've just got into watching DVDs. I can watch Prime Video and Netflix and that sort of thing, but I'm just into me Wild at Heart at the moment. So yeah. But then I thought, well, I can go back because they've recently put that new Elvis film. That's the new Elvis one with what's his name? The guy that plays Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks. Yeah. So they've put him in. I think that he's supposed to be some sort of relation to Elvis, but I was on Prime Video the other day because obviously I pay a Prime membership, so I get so many videos free on Prime Video, and they came up with Elvis, and I thought, oh my god, I want to watch that because I'm not going to pay cinema prices. I mean, I do have an unlimited Cineworld card thing, but I'm not really one that goes to the cinema every often, so I would have to get a lot of usage out of it, so I cancelled that. And for some reason they say that you have to pay 12 months up front. No, you're tied into a contract for 12 months, and I was like, no, I want to cancel, So I think they got the hint. One way to stop a company taking your money or trying to take money is just like freeze your card or get a new card ordered, then they can't take it because every new bank card has a different number on it, but most banks nowadays have a freeze feature, so you can basically apply that freeze feature and it stops them taking it. It won't work for direct debit though, so please be mindful of that. If you want to try and stop a direct debit and you apply the freeze feature, it won't work. It will still go through. It only works for card payments. So yeah, I saw this Elvis DVD or film, and I thought, oh, I like that. I'm going to see what the options are, because you can buy it or you can rent it. Obviously, several months down the line, it will become free, hopefully. But apparently, my parents went to see it, and it was so good that they went to see it again. But that was just my dad that saw it that day. Because the first time he went with my mum, and then the next time he went with my dad. So, no, he went again, but on his own. So it said that you can rent it. I can't recall what the amount was for buying, but you can rent it for £5. Now, the problem is with renting is you don't have very long to watch it. So once you've started that, I think you have like 30 days to start it. But the minute you press play, that starts the clock. So you've then got 48 hours to clear that film and watch it, or you've got to pay out again. So they don't give you a very often, to watch it. So some of my videos, some of my films that I watch, they are bought digitally. And then, obviously, then companies came out where you pay like a set fee per month and you can watch as many films as you want. And I think that's what's lovely about, places like Netflix, Disney Plus, because Sky Store, you have to buy them. And some of my videos, like Jack Frost, like the really hard ones, they're very naughty, Amazon, because what they do at Christmas, throughout the year, things like Jack Frost would be free, right? But then when it gets to Christmas, they go, right, we're going to now start renting it. We're now going to apply a rental charge to it. So they're very naughty, because you then have to pay to watch it when it's been free through the year. I mean, some films like Nativity you can get free. It just depends. But the really main Christmassy ones, I tend to buy digital or buy them on DVD as well, because you just know that you're going to get stuck with a rental fee. But then again, obviously, if you're trying to watch a nice Christmas movie, the only thing is with digital is you're going to get, buffering and, sometimes like that. But be mindful, if you buy a digital copy, you can't get your money back. So you're lumbered with it, basically. Unless, of course, the video is playing up and it doesn't work, then you might be able to get your refund. But they're non-refundable, so just be mindful for that. But it's just nice because I know that I can watch it at any time I like. So, yeah, and that's basically where we are on that. And then this morning, I planned to get up at 7 because I knew I wanted to get some more of this done. And obviously, I know that we don't get much daylight now in the evening, and can't film in the evening because my light's blown up. And trying to get this fluorescent tube is a nightmare. Because it's a very weird make. Let me just show you. So I've had a look on Amazon for this. This is the fluorescent tube, but it's a Philips Master TLD36W/840. But all the ones I've seen on Amazon, they don't do it in that make. So it's very difficult. They have got another one, but it's not the size that I need for that. So there is discussion that Coopers are going to come out and try and, that's one of the contractors. Apparently they're supposed to be changing the fitment so that we can put a standard light rather than this fluorescent thing. Because to be fair with you, that tube will likely rank up. That's probably what's costing a lot in energy, because they're really powerful lights. So all I need is like a bayonet. So if they can take that fitment down, because they said we don't replace white bulbs, even though the tenancy agreement says they replace any white goods. Now that's obviously a white good. But what they can do is they can change the fitment. And I said, well, can you not take the fluorescent tube down fitment and put a bayonet up? This one is a bayonet, but obviously what I mean is like a standard light with like a bayonet fitting. You've got bayonet, which is the ones with 2 pins, or you've got the screw type. So yeah, because trying to get a bulb like that is a needle in a haystack. I don't know anywhere else that will do that sort of light bulb. That's the problem. I have got this. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh wow. I didn't know I had that. Oh my god, result, I just found a brioche. But I have, I ordered this magazine because this company, I saw it on Facebook and they said you can get a free magazine, and it's called Trusted, it's basically Ironmongery Direct, but there's another one that, and they've got it's a green electrical book, so I don't know whether you can find one in there, but yeah, I've got to try and get this fitment sorted, because it's very difficult, because obviously I spend most of my time in the kitchen because that's where I film this. So I've got to try and get as much done before, you know, the daylight goes. So yeah, I got up, planned to get up at 7, didn't get up till gone 12, and then was flabbergasted and bombarded with 24 emails today, and it's basically all crap, you know, all like AliExpress, works.co.uk, Amazon, because last night, let's rewind back to last night, I was on the train, and you know when you're sort of on your train, you want to bypass the time a bit, so you're on Facebook, you're checking your emails, messages, and I don't know why, but I just really fancied browsing for paintings, and I found this one that was on my wish list, and it's been on there for a while. And I've told myself that I will not buy any painting unless it's £5 only. There's a very lovely cat that I want, and it looks like my friend's cat, Stormy, who sadly passed away. And I want to get that cat because it resembles Stormy, but it's going up from £5 to £6.98. So when that drops to £5, I'll buy it. And this other painting I saw, it was £7, and then they knocked it down to £5, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get that. So that's coming today. And then I fancied some Oreo cookies, so I've got that coming today, and then another bar of Galaxy. So, yeah. So I've got that coming today. So then, yeah, I got up, just loads of me emails, 24 emails and that. Read a bit of my magazine, made a cuppa, and that's where I'm doing this now. And, oh my God. Last night as well, trying to get hold of the doctors, because 111 was a waste of time. They phoned me at 4 o'clock in the morning, so weren't happy with that. I ain't going to answer at that sort of time. So I phoned the doctors. I said, how do I get my medication? Because I've run out. You don't do repeats, so how do I get my medication? You're going to have to go onto a system called Animar. And apparently this new online system called Animar is supposed to, you put in your symptoms, and then the doctor, that sends a message to the practice, who then the doctor responds and either prescribes you medication or prescribes you or gets an appointment. So I put in the symptoms, and the lady was ever so lovely. She was she said, I'll wait on the phone until you manage to get in and you know, registered. And I'm thinking, well, this is just the same as any online doctor thing. And so the doctor's obviously read the notes, and she now wants to see me on Friday. So somewhere down the line, they've not put my prescription on repeats. Now, I actually said to the lady, I'm supposed to take it until further notice. The problem is we've got with this doctor's surgery is I don't see the same doctor each time. So obviously they're telling me all different things. So the last time I went, they said that they wanted me to take it until further notice. Now they're saying that they want to see me for an assessment. But I did say that on this Animar or whatever it's called, that I was getting these, like, it's very similar to a kick, like as if someone's kicking you and then sharp shooting pains. So perhaps they want to check it out first. But what we really need is an ECG, which stands for electrocardiogram, and they put all wires on your chest to measure the electrical signals in your heart. So they basically want to measure the vibrations and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that one, I can come off these pills, and two, everything's okay. I did have a cholesterol reading because I thought, well, maybe it's something like angina and it's blocking the arteries up. And they said that the cholesterol came back clear. So it's definitely not that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on Friday, because they can't automatically do an ECG. An ECG has to be booked in, because I don't think the machine is kept on the site. I think it's kept at like a hospital and that. So I think it's a waste of time, really. I think they're just going to give me heart pressure, probably test me high blood pressure and that. I really must get one of them. I keep wanting to get one on Amazon, but they're just so expensive. They're like 30 quid. So I bet you she's going to get me to do a blood pressure form thing again, writing down all my blood pressure results. And then it's really weird, because it's just like over the last few days it's stopped. So I don't know whether it was muscle pain or what, or muscle spasm. But all the symptoms have gone. But just to rule out anything, I do want to find out what's causing it. So it sort of comes and then it goes again. So yeah, so trying to get a prescription is ridiculous. I don't know why they stopped this online prescription repeat thing. So even if I signed back up to pharmacy to you, that would have been a complete waste of time. Because basically when we phoned 111, they said, when we phoned, because on the NHS app you can put an emergency prescription through. They couldn't do it because this doctor hasn't signed it off. So they said to phone 111. I think they've got doctors 24 hours, so yeah. I didn't answer the call because, then it's not like it's not like you can go out at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the prescription. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to phone my doctors, because at the end of the day, they told me 2 hours and they didn't call me till 4 o'clock in the morning. And they told me that at 3:20 in the afternoon that it would be 2 hours. So obviously hearts are not their main point of emergency. So yeah, I thought, you know what, you're wasting my time, I'll waste yours. So yeah. But I don't know whether it's stress or I don't know. One of the main problems I get is, when you've cleared emails or you've cleared some videos on YouTube, you think you're all catched up and then you get flooded with more. I think that's what I find stressful, because it's just trying to get it cleared again. Within minutes you've got more. And it's like when I'm reading my magazines, I read them and I know that I get more each week, and then you sort of get more from the postman, and then you're back to square one again. So it's quite difficult. It really is very, very difficult. So I think that's one of the main contributors here. But it'll soon be Christmas. All the joys of that. One of the sweets, let me know in the comments what sweets you get, but at Christmas time, I can't stand Quality Street. It's old fashioned, they're old people's sweets. The only sweet I'd eat at that is the pink fudge or the purple nut. But they're quite crafty, isn't it, with Quality Street? They'll only include one nut, which is the purple nut. And when my former friend sent me an advent calendar, couldn't believe she sent me one. Totally unexpected. And one of the chocolates had a purple nut in it. Oh, and it was handsome. And it brought back memories of obviously the Quality Street. But I don't know how much she spent on it, but it was obviously really high quality. It was really lovely chocolate. And looking at it, it felt like it was worth like $4.99, something like that. But yeah, so we normally go for Quality Street. Oh my God, we normally go for celebrations, because you've got like Bounties, Mars. The best one I like, and my sister likes this. The Maltesers that's in the shape of it's like an oval sort of shape. They're the best. I could eat the whole lot. But where I work, they might not do it this year, because obviously it's under different management. We've got a different manager, and each manager has their own ways, and each year we used to get boxes of chocolates from like the high up managers, and the just singing there. So yeah, from the high up managers, and yeah, so it's really, really good. And then at Easter, the operations manager normally gets us chocolates, but this year, no. She gives me one of them. I mean, it must have been a massive improvement for her, because the year before we got a cream egg, and then the year after we got a big box of Easter eggs that was supposed to come in last year, and they came in like a month later, but we all got to take 4 eggs home, so... But yeah, weekends are sort of like my breaks from everything, you know, YouTube, emails, because weekends, although I do some off-camera diamond painting, I can listen to music. It really allows me to, you know, unwind, and it's just beautiful. But I did not know I had a brioche in there, because my mum got me a brioche. Occasionally when she's shopping, I think all parents do this, they just see something like your kids will like, and they go, oh, I'll have that. But yeah, I did not know that was in there, so I'll enjoy that. Talking of which, I need to have some cup of tea. Oh, lovely. Well, it's not going to be long until we're on the last ever line, guys. Can't believe it. Sorry, the last ever row. And then obviously once we reach the end, we'll go back and just fill any missing colours that we've got. But I think we're going to smash this easy. I've actually been thinking about the November painting that I'm going to be doing. If we don't meet the deadline, I'm thinking about extending it to the 30th of October, just to see if we can get it done. I mean, obviously it'd be past the deadline, but it would save having to, you know, roll it over till the following year. So, yeah. Say la vie, say you do what I don't, say to you, say to me. Say la vie. But I've got this horrible feeling, you know, when I said that I'm not working until they sort this problem out, obviously that's not the way to do it. You've still got to work to get your money, but I know that my legal team will sort that out. But I've got this horrible feeling that I'm going to be working for free, because what they do at the company I work for, say like you don't turn up for a shift, they'll take that amount of shift out of your pay. So they will basically, every shift that you don't turn up for, they'll take money off you. And I've got this horrible feeling that when I go to work on the weekends, I'm just going to be working for free to put money in their pockets. And that's what scares me. But, you know, the longer I stay off, the longer I'm not going to get this. We're just going to be in this vicious circle, you know. So I'll just have to wait and see. If need be, I'll have to get help from family and friends and stuff, you know, to sort the bills and that. But, you know, I know I've got this money that they've agreed to coming on the way. I just don't know when it's coming. But, yeah, so at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, are they going to do that? I don't even know what October's pay is going to be like, because it's so messed up, because they owe me so much money. And this is what is annoying. And it's really, I will never ever understand this, but with any other person, they will just get rid of them. So obviously they're on casuals, I'm on a contract. I believe I'm the only one that's on a contract, because nowadays companies don't like to commit to contracts. But yeah, I believe I'm the only one that's on the contract, because the problem we've got is everyone that starts, within a couple of weeks, they don't like it and they leave. So we've always got new people coming in every week. And, you know, I can only do the shift that I'm contracted to do. I don't mind helping out, but at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, you know, if you need people that desperately, then let me do the shifts. Oh, no, we can't. The contract don't allow it. I don't believe none of that nonsense. And it just speaks volume, because people just don't like the job. And then, you know, one person, he was mucking them about, and obviously he went round, kept saying that he was sick and he fell off his bike, and every day was like another excuse. And there was this specific thing that he said, and he said, oh, I can't come in, I've vomited everywhere, you know. And eventually what they did, this is how nasty this company is, so that he came into work, done his shift, and then at the end of the shift he got a letter, and it said, because he showed me it, and it said, we no longer require your services. How nasty is that? So you've brought the guy in to do the work, and then you sack him on the spot. That's not nice, because you're supposed to go through the disciplinary procedure before you do that. But again, if he's on a casual, he's got no rights, whereas I'm on a contract, so I've got rights. And I think that's why it's almost like they don't want me to leave. It's a very strange scenario, because I think, you know, they know that I'm reliable, they know that I'm their best worker, but you know, there comes a point where I think I do need a change. You know, I need some. I can't work for a company that constantly screws up your wages. I mean, how hard is it? The manager puts the input, the manager puts the hours that I've worked on, and then obviously someone at payroll, you know, pays it. I mean, I don't know if it's a computer that does it or what, but every single month there's a problem. That ain't normal. So I'm just going to go, you know, grim and bear it, as they say. Because I you know, when you've been off and you really don't want to go back, and then you turn up and it's like, yeah, back at this dump again. I ain't looking forward to it. I really ain't. Because at the back of my mind, I just don't know if I'm going to get paid for it. Am I going to get another month screwed up? Do you see what I mean? So I think they know not, you know, they can't take the piss anymore, because that's what they're doing. They're taking the piss out of me. Oh, let's cut off his hour, you know, let's make him work, and then we'll dock him some money and he won't notice. Yeah, well, I will notice. And I think now that I've took it to court, it's their wake-up call. You know, I think it's finally sunk in that I'm not someone to mess with. So, you know, at the end of the day, I've then got to explain to all my companies why, you know, all the companies that I work, that I pay, like broadband, telephone, I've got to explain, you know, all to the Anglian Water, all to the bill companies, why they can't get their money. And all the other companies I'm truly blessed for, because they've been so understanding. But Sky, they don't give a crap. They really don't give a crap. So if you've got a bill, they don't care about that. And I even showed them the email that said it's been underpaid. Oh no, we don't owe you nothing, you do. And that's what the tribunal's there for. And yeah, they don't care about that. We want our money. Okay, fine. You want to be like that? I'll move my broadband provider, and you can get nothing. Because the way I see it is, I will pay. I fully understand that I owe September's bill, and I understand that will still be paid. But the point I'm trying to make is, I have a wage problem at the moment because my work keep underpaying me, and you need to understand that. So what they said was, oh, we can't give you any more time, we'll just, you know, there's nothing we can do. There is, okay, you're saying that you can't give extra time, but you've allowed an extra 10 days. You're contradicting yourself. So I said, fine, that's fine. I'll pay the September bill, but you can go run if you want the October's bill, because I ain't paying for a service I've not been able to use. So I thought, you know what? Another reason why I wanted to change is because they don't do direct debit. Everything's automated card payment, so I never know when they're coming out. So I wanted to get direct debit, but yeah, so it's all about good customer service. I was with EE for years, absolute years. Same with Eon. But then there comes a point where they were charging me £48, and I just simply couldn't do that. I can't agree to that on broadband. That's ridiculous. And then Eon, there was a time where they had a major problem And the top-ups, when you topped your electric up, it wasn't reaching the meter, and they left us in the freezing cold. It was snowing, everyone had no electric, and they said, we're trying to get it fixed. So obviously late in the evening, it didn't go on till gone probably 9 o'clock at night. So obviously you can't cook, you can't get on with nothing, you can't have a shower, you can't do nothing. All the electric's off, and that really done it for me. And also it kept saying, every time you tried to top up, it kept saying, oh sorry, we've hit an error. And I thought, you know what, now's the time to change. But although I don't like British Gas, they're the only ones that have been able, that let me have a credit meter. And what's interesting is, when I tried it, because for some reason they gave me a credit meter for the electric, but a gas prepay for the gas. And I said, well, why is one credit and one prepay? And they tried to mode change it, which is where they change it over to credit remotely, but they have to do a credit check. And apparently that credit check failed. And that's understandable, you know, I'm in debt with things, I'm quite transparent about that. And I'm thinking, well, if it's failed, how comes you passed it on the electric but not the gas? So whether my credit history was a lot better then, I don't know. But yeah, I've got one on credit and one on prepay, and it's a pain in the arse really. Excuse my language there, but it is, because I have to keep going in the cupboard, because apparently they won't give me a new in-house monitor because it's outside of the 12-month thing. I don't understand that, because you could easily charge me, I don't know what, £10 to get a new one, but no. So I'm looking about for different energy providers, but obviously if my credit history is a little bit buggered, I'm not going to get a credit one, am I? But we still ain't got that 66, and it's not fair, because everyone else, like Scottish Power, they're all getting theirs. Why is British Gas the last ones to get it? So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I check it every day, because apparently you're supposed to be getting it off the electric. So it's either coming off the electric, but there's a lot of, they're saying that it's going to be paid in your bank, and then it's not going to be paid in your bank. You're going to get it off that, off the bill. Why can't they just take it off the bill? Why do, you know, I don't want it in the bank. I want it took off the bill. Because all that's doing is they're paying you in the bank, and then if a direct debit goes out, you're buggered anyway. Because it could go out on a different, you know, direct debit. All my bills go on direct debit, because it's that way it takes care of itself. So, and I don't forget, but with my council tax, I have that on a liability order, which is where the council take it to the court to get a liability order, and it allows the council to take money from the wages. And I love that, because it takes care of itself. And I always used to forget with direct debit, because the council are very fussy over here. If you miss a payment, they won't put you back on direct debit, so they're a pain in the backside. But with my TV licensing, we had a massive argument, because I said, well, you know, you've cancelled my license. I do not want to pay 100 and so or whatever it is for another year. You've got to ring in. No, I'm not a call centre. You know, I want you do. You know, do it by email. That's what I say. But I shouldn't really say it like that. But it really annoys me when they say, "Oh, could you give us a quick call?" No, you want the problem sorted, you call me. I ain't a call centre. So why should I call you when you've got an email service? You know, you've got email. I don't understand that. So yeah. So then he said, right, I've agreed to put you back on the Simply payment plan. And my mum was speaking about it yesterday, and she said, you should be paying 13, and I think it is 13, so much better than paying, never do the quarterly. I mean, it's like 100 something, but yeah, ran over. I like to put companies in their place. If they're trying to pull a fast one on you, then I'll put them in their place, you know. So yeah. But yeah, I think we've done pretty well. That's perfect. Wow, we've got so much talked about, and we're almost finished. So I'll just finish off this line, and then that is it. We're on to the last ever row. But we might overrun slightly, but it's always, I don't like to leave it half a line, I like to finish it off, but yeah, lovely. I've got to try and figure out how to sort Titanic out, because there's these pipes I've got on to do them, but I've mislaid the pipes, so once Amazon have been, I'll whack in me music, my headphones, and then go around searching for them. Can't believe we're on the last line, guys. Oh no. Don't want it to end. I'm really enjoying this. Now, if you want to know where this pen come from, have a browse on Amazon or any diamond painting company. But mine came in like a carry set thing, so I'm not entirely sure where you get these pens. This was the actual pen that One Day Saving was gonna, the One Day Saving sent me to do a review on, but it broke, and of course I couldn't show them, so they sent me a replacement painting. But I'm looking forward to doing the unboxing video of the painting I've got today. You won't see that until probably January, because obviously this month, the next month, and the month after that is all themes. So yeah, you'll probably see it. It's a Valentine's Day theme, so you'll probably see that unboxing in February. So yeah. Do 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 do. It's Anastasia. Where are you going? Can anybody hear? I just love singing. I was born to be on the stage. I'm sorry, but I was. I would love to do that in front of loads of people, like just sing and like everyone's clapping at me and. Oh yeah, man. We actually had the real Sue Pollards, because we get a lot of tribute bands, and I spoke to Graham and I was like, how the hell did you manage that? And he goes, with great difficulty. But there we go, guys, that is the last drill. Obviously we will go back over and fill in any gaps at the very end, but that is it. We're on the last row, guys. Look at this, we are getting there. How exciting. I can't believe it. We're on the last entire row, guys, but please remember to like, share and subscribe if you want to get this painting or the washi tape for yourself. Check out the description below the video, and I will see you very soon for the start of the last row. This is getting very emotional now. I never thought I'd get emotional over a painting, but you know, it's coming to the end, and while we've got mixed emotions of feeling happy and sad, sad being, you know, seeing this painting come to an end, and happy seeing the next project take off, it really has been a blast with this painting, and yeah, now's the time to really push this to the end. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. Bye-bye, guys.